What if the greatest threat to humanity isn't war or famine or some killer asteroid hurtling through space? What if the real danger is comfort? I know it sounds ridiculous. We spend our entire lives chasing comfort, safety, and a predictable, warm existence. It's the ultimate goal, right? The prize we're all sold on. But over a century ago, one of history's most terrifying thinkers made a chilling prediction. He foresaw a future where humanity achieved this dream of ultimate comfort, and in doing so, lost its very soul. He predicted the coming of a new type of human, a pathetic, passionless creature he called the last man. And the most terrifying part, you might be becoming one right now, without even realizing it. The philosopher was Friedrich Nietzsche, a man who stared into the abyss of human potential and saw two paths. One path led upwards, towards greatness, struggle, and what he called the Übermensch, or overman. The overman is the creator of new values, the one who overcomes themselves, who embraces suffering as a tool for growth. They are the artists, the innovators, the explorers who push humanity forward. But the other path, that path leads downwards. It leads to the last man. The last man is the polar opposite. He isn't evil. In fact, he's worse. He's nothing. He is the exhausted end point of humanity. The last man seeks only pitiable comfort and contentment. He has his little pleasure for the day and his little pleasure for the night. He takes no risks, has no grand ambitions, and looks upon anyone who does with suspicion and contempt. Nietzsche warned this would be our future if we are not careful. A world so safe, so regulated, so medicated against any hint of pain that we forget what it means to be great. So the question is, are the warning signs already here? Let's break down the 5 most dangerous. Warning sign number 1. You prioritize comfort above all else. Think about it. We have temperature-controlled homes, food delivered to our door, and entertainment beamed into our eyes 24/7. Discomfort has become the ultimate enemy. This isn't just about physical comfort. It's about emotional and intellectual comfort too. We avoid difficult conversations. We unfriend people with different opinions. We stick to intellectual echo chambers that never challenge our worldview. But then, what happens when a real challenge appears? A job loss, a health crisis, a personal failure. A life spent on a feather bed doesn't prepare you for a bed of nails. You become brittle, fragile, and unable to cope with the inevitable hardships of existence. Growth only happens at the edge of your comfort zone. Muscle grows by being torn. Courage grows by facing fear. Wisdom grows by confronting difficult truths. The last man rejects all of this for a warm blanket. So ask yourself honestly, when was the last time you deliberately chose the harder path just for the sake of the challenge? If you can't remember, that's a red flag. Warning sign number 2. You despise risk and seek total safety. Our society is obsessed with eliminating risk. We have safety labels on everything, endless regulations, and a constant narrative that the world is a terrifyingly dangerous place. We're encouraged to save for a safe retirement, choose a stable career path, and never, ever stray from the well-trodden road. It all sounds so responsible, so sensible. It's the logical thing to do. But then you look at history. Every great leap forward for humanity was a monumental risk. Explorers sailing into the unknown, scientists challenging established dogma, entrepreneurs betting everything on an idea no one else believed in. The last man wants to sand down all the sharp edges of life. He wants a world with no chance of falling, but a world with no chance of falling is also a world with no chance of climbing. It's a flat, boring, and utterly meaningless existence. Life is risk. To love is to risk heartbreak. To create is to risk failure. To live is to risk death. To deny risk is to deny the very essence of a vibrant, meaningful life. Warning sign number 3. You have no strong convictions or a powerful why. The last man is cynical. He scoffs at passion, at belief, at anyone who holds a deep conviction. To him, everything is relative. Nothing is truly worth fighting for, and it's naive to care too much. He lives in a state of perpetual irony, detached from everything. He doesn't build anything because he doesn't believe in anything. He just consumes and critiques from the sidelines, feeling superior in his apathy. But then the storms of life hit, and a person without a why has no anchor. Nietzsche famously said, "He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how." Your why is your reason for getting out of bed when it's hard. It's the engine that drives you through suffering. The last man has no why. His goal is simply to pass the time as pleasantly as possible until he dies. He has no higher purpose, no grand project, no value that he would be willing to suffer for. Warning sign number 4. You secretly desire the equality of mediocrity. This one is subtle and dangerous. The last man doesn't just lack ambition for himself, he resents it in others. He sees someone excelling, someone striving for greatness, and his first instinct isn't admiration, it's envy. He says no one should be a master, no one a servant. It sounds noble, but what he really means is, no one should be better than me. No one should make me feel inadequate by rising too high. It's the crab in a bucket mentality. The philosophy of pulling everyone down to the same miserable level, just so no one gets ahead. This manifests as a desire for equality of outcome, not opportunity. Instead of wanting everyone to have a fair shot to climb as high as their talent and effort will take them, the last man wants to lower the ceiling so no one can climb too high. But then, a society that punishes excellence and rewards mediocrity is a society in decline. It stifles innovation. It smothers genius. It creates a herd of timid, blinking creatures who are all safely, comfortably, and depressingly the same. True progress comes from celebrating those who reach for the stars, not from tearing them down so we can all feel better about staying on the ground. The last man's equality is the death of human potential. And finally, warning sign number 5. You find meaning in trivial distractions. The last man's world is filled with what Nietzsche called pitiable comforts. Endless entertainment, celebrity gossip, doom scrolling, partisan squabbles, and cheap dopamine hits from social media. These things aren't inherently evil, but for the last man, they are not a diversion from a meaningful life. They are his life. They are the substance that fills the void where purpose should be. He is always busy, always consuming, always distracted. He has an opinion on every trivial controversy and knows the latest trends. It gives him a feeling of engagement, a feeling of being alive. But then, what is he actually building? What is he creating? What legacy is he leaving? The answer is nothing. The constant noise is a deliberate strategy to avoid the terrifying silence in which he might have to confront his own emptiness. He is an expert on things that don't matter, while remaining a novice in the art of living. He trades the potential for profound joy and accomplishment for a steady drip feed of shallow amusement. The last man, Nietzsche says, just blinks. He sees the world, but he doesn't comprehend it. He is a passive spectator to his own life, sedated by an endless stream of digital novocaine. So there they are, the 5 warning signs: an obsession with comfort, a fear of risk, a lack of deep conviction, a resentment of excellence, and a life filled with trivial distractions. If you see some of these in yourself, don't despair. This isn't a diagnosis, it's a wake-up call. Nietzsche wasn't just a prophet of doom, he was also a philosopher of immense hope in human potential. He believed we had the power to overcome this slide into mediocrity, to reject the fate of the last man. So what's the antidote? You don't have to be a billionaire or a superhero. You just have to make a choice right now. Choose voluntary hardship over mindless comfort. Choose calculated risk over suffocating safety. Find your why and hold onto it like your life depends on it. Celebrate greatness in others and demand it from yourself. Turn off the noise and start building something real. Your character, your skills, your relationships, your own table of values. Something that will last longer than a trending hashtag. The path of the Overman is hard. It is filled with suffering, setbacks, and loneliness. It guarantees nothing, but it is the only path that is truly alive. The alternative is the warm, living death of the last man. Nietzsche put the choice to us over 100 years ago, and it's more relevant today than ever before. We have invented the happiness that the last man desires. The question is, will we settle for it? In a world that prizes safety above all else, we have to decide what we are truly afraid of. Are we afraid of failure? Or are we afraid of reaching the end of our lives, only to realize we never really tried? Because the greatest danger isn't that the world is unsafe. It's that it might become so comfortable, you forget what it means to be alive at all.